Alright, I'm out here with my Gravely XL 52-inch cut. I'm going to change the hydraulic filters and fluid today. I'm a little over on my hours. You can see I'm about at 87.5 hours right now. Gravely recommends you change it after the first 75 hours. So I'm going to go ahead and get that changed today. The first thing I'll show you is the parts we're going to be using today. You can see the fluid I'm going to use, Mobile 1 15W50 synthetic. The filters I'm going to use, you need two of them. They're Sten's filters. Right there's the part number, 120-738. I got these on Amazon. My Gravely dealer never has any parts in stock, so I can get them quicker through Amazon. That's all you're going to need today. Okay, the first thing I did was jack up the mower and remove the two rear tires. This isn't necessary, you can get to it from underneath, but this makes life a whole lot easier, and with the impact and everything, it takes 20 extra seconds to pull the tires off. So once you got the wheels and tires off, you're going to start by taking the guard off the filter. We're just going to go right down here. This little black, there's your filter we're going to be changing. Little black guard needs to come off, so you're just going to get your socket on there. We're using a 10mm, and go ahead and get all these pulled off here. Alright, now we've got the guards off on both sides of the mower, so we're going to go ahead and spin these filters off. Now before I did this, I've also popped the caps on the expansion tanks. And you also notice I parked the mower on some cardboard. Always good to put some cardboard underneath because you never know what's going to happen when you change an oil or dealing with fluids like this. So we can get a good grip on this thing here. There we are. So after you get it loose with the pliers, we'll go ahead and spin it off by hand. Let your fluid drain there. Yeah, it doesn't look too bad, but yeah, they recommend changing it, so we'll change it. Now, I've heard of a lot of people putting off this service, and I don't know, just they think it's hard to do, or they think Gravely charges too much, but I mean, really, for $20 in oil and 15-20 bucks in filters, there's really no reason not to. All right, we'll let this drain, then we'll get on over to the other side. Alright, we're on the other side now. Same thing with this guy. Move our pan over. I'll spin our filter off. Let that side drain out. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove our fill plug. This is going to allow us to fill it, and it's also going to allow these cases to drain completely. Now the fill plugs are a little tricky to get to on these. See if I can get down here. Now before you lay under the mower, make sure you put a jack stand under it too. Don't rely on just the jack. The fill plug is going to be on this interior side of this case, up at the top up here. Alright, I've got the fill plugs out. You can see them there. I just used an 11/16" ratcheting wrench here to get them out of here. Now another thing I did to make life a little easier, Gravely doesn't put it in their manual, but the little black shield that goes below the muffler, I went ahead and took that off. It gives you a little more room to work, and you can see, hopefully you can see up there at the top, right around there, you'll see the open hole. Now that's where those plugs came out of. So after those are out, it's still dripping a little bit. We'll continue to let it drain. After it's all done draining, then we'll go ahead and grab our new filters. We'll get those spun on there. Okay, it's about done draining. So here we have our new filters here. I'm going to set those aside for a minute. One very important thing you want to check is you want to check your mounting surface up here. Then you want to check it to make sure that you got the whole gasket came off with the old filter, so you don't have any double gasket issues which will cause a leak. Then I always like to wipe it off up here to make sure you get any debris off of that mounting surface. You want a nice clean mounting surface for your new filter so you don't have any leak issues. Little bit more up there. All right. All right, once you got that good and clean, take one of your new filters. You can take your new filter, dip your finger in your new fluid, go ahead and give it a good coating on that seal right there. Make sure that new seal is good and coated. And you'll take your new filter and you'll spin it on. Now I like to go till it's about hand tight like that. And I'll grab it here from the bottom and give it one more little crank. You don't want to over tighten that. Alright, we'll do the same thing on the other side. Alright, we got the new filter on this side also. Next step, we're going to just go back through and install our filter guards again. Found it. Alright, now it's going to be time to fill. This is where I always laugh at the manufacturers because the manual will just say, fill with 15W50 synthetic motor oil until oil appears at the bottom of the fill plug. Okay, but when we're using a jug that comes like this, and we got to get it into a space that's clear up under there, that's a little easier said than done. So this is my best shot at trying to get oil in those fill plugs without making a huge mess. That's just a piece of vinyl, I think, tubing that I had, and a funnel I stuck in the end. So let's give this a shot. Alright, I was able to fish my tube through from the top. If you can see it there, I've got it going into my fill plug and coming up top here. So I'm going to pour a little bit of oil in, see if we have any leaks here. Now it's going to flow slow, but we'll just deal with it. Alright, looks like we're going in okay with no leaks. So I'm going to go ahead and keep filling up this funnel until basically till this hole here starts to overflow, and then that'll be full. Alright, I got both transaxles filled up now using my little funnel contraption here. They work pretty well, it was just slow going. After you get them full, make sure you put your drain plugs back in with your 11/16 inch. And once you make sure you got that and there's no leaks, then make sure you go ahead and put your heat shield back on and we'll get the wheels back on. Alright, we've got everything back together now. We're going to go ahead and check the expansion tanks. Which are these white tanks right there and right there. We're going to see how those look. Just make sure they're filled up to the cold fill line.